Hey guys, it's Saturday. I was, I don't know, like about 3 or so minutes into a video, and then my phone died suddenly, without warning. And I really should have been suspicious when the battery indicator had been full all day. I haven't really been using it that much today, but I don't know, apparently it just didn't feel like telling me that it was slowly dying. It was trying to be strong without showing any weakness or something. We're going to have a heart-to-heart about that when it's done charging. So that's why I'm on my bed as close to the outlet as I can get, instead of, off somewhere nicer, possibly more comfortable. It's my bed. It's not really that comfortable, though. It's kind of comfortable. The pillows aren't comfortable. They're kind of, there's two of them. They're both kind of thin and not very pleasing to the head and neck alignment. So when Alexis said the phrase cabin fever, that was actually very accurate. I feel there's 3 or 4 intellectual stimuli things happening, and they don't really change ever. There's Skyrim and Portal and reading and these, watching your guys' videos and stuff. And that's about it. So, I don't want to talk about Skyrim and Portal to you guys all day. And, until Alexis gets caught up, or until both of you guys get caught up or something, can't really talk about the reading group. I've been reading a bunch of other books. And forgive me if I start to repeat things, because like I said, there isn't really a whole lot going on. And so I only have 5 things to talk about. So I'm sure I'm going to be repeating at some point, or I'm just going to forget, because it's the same thing every day. Not really, it's slightly different, but I don't want to just talk about what happened in the last 5 Animorph books that I read, or something like that. I started reading another book. I don't know where it is. It must be in the living room or something. I forget by what the guy's name is, but it's sort of a history of the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt, in a fiction narrative framework. So it's really interesting, actually. It's sort of narrated by the Egyptian god Thoth, or I forget what his Egyptian name is. That's the Greek name, but the ibis and or baboon-headed god of knowledge and wisdom and art and magic and science and writing and such, who also has other important jobs, such as making sure the universe keeps working. Yes, so, and it's really well written, and it's, anyway, so, Thoth, the ibis-headed god of knowledge, is sort of the narrator, kind of. Anyway, it's a good book, and I'm a quarter of the way through that. Started it a couple of days ago. You'd think I'd be getting more reading done or something, since I have all this free time, but at the moment it's mostly taken up by reading the Animorphs. I think I'm up to 30-some now. There's 54 of them, plus a couple, extra prequel books, and then extra special Megamorph books, and things like that. They keep me interested. Alexis, your hair, I think the orange looks much better. It's sort of one of those cases where you can't really see that something is better until you see an alternative. So, yeah, I like the other one, but I like this one more. And the orange looks much more natural. I have a cousin, Lindsay. Actually, she has her birthdays tomorrow. We're going to go out and have a dinner thing. She's bright redhead, and it's orange. Actual redheads don't really have red hair. And I felt kind of bad when you were talking about your cycling race French thing. I kind of didn't stop listening. I was listening, but my ears kind of started shutting down, and it was difficult to stay with you on some topics. I'm sure it was just far above my intellectual level. Sort of like when, like when people who are really into American football start going on about their favorite teams and stuff. And it's, I'm sure it's really interesting, I think most things are interesting if you know enough about it. But I don't know enough about it to be interested. But I'm excited for you, and it's too bad the thing that happened with the guy that you were rooting for that we were talking about. And Becky, I'm glad Les Mis went well for you. I had to get caught up on 4 videos because I missed the other half of the week, and so I'm not sure which video that was. But I'm glad you saw that and that it was good, and I was going to say something about musicals. I'll get to that, but I want to talk about the 4th of July, because we were very disappointed that you didn't have any fireworks, and it's like the exact flip opposite of my life, I guess, because I've had one 4th of July in my life where I had fireworks, and it was a couple summers ago, whenever I was living in Orton, down in Orton, in Pullman, because otherwise I have been in Alaska for July, and it's Alaska, it's too light to have fireworks, so no one ever has fireworks on 4th of July in Alaska unless they just want to blow stuff up. That's just how it is. But then we have fireworks, for Christmas and New Year's, and so I think for Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving it's dark enough to have fireworks, and like a bonfire, and I don't know if we have parade. I'm not really a parade person, I guess. I don't know. So what else? Musicals? I think we know that you guys are much more into musicals than I am. I liked The King and I, just because I played bassoon for the pit orchestra there, and when my community did that, so that was fun. But otherwise, I don't know. My grandparents, and then like my other grandmother, and down in Madison, the Italian one, and I don't know, just everyone's kind of big on taking me to musicals when I was younger, so I saw a lot of them. I think I've seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and The Wiz like 1,000 times each, so I'm kind of tired of them. Besides that, I haven't really seen that many. I mean, then they're okay, I guess, just, I don't know, I'd be more interested to actually be active in the musical than actually to watch it. It isn't a media style that interests me a lot to, I don't know, to consume, I guess. I don't know, just because I don't know a lot about acting styles, or, like, set construction, or all the sound design that goes on beneath the stage, or backstage where you can't see it. An old friend of my dad's, they went to high school together, and they were, like set designers and stuff like that. Well, this friend of my dad's, works in New York doing, like, sound stuff. He's like the head sound guy for, some Broadway play. I don't know what it is now. It used to be Mamma Mia, but I'm not sure if he's still working on that one. And we couldn't get tickets when we went to New York. But he just like, took us in through the back door in whatever, place on Broadway that we were, and so we went through like this little back door where all of the, all the singers and all the crew went through, and we got to walk on the stage when it was empty, and go back behind the stage and look at all of his, his dials and all of the lights back there, and it was really, really cool. I think that, for me, was more fun than seeing any musical could ever be, just because, I don't know, just being able to stand on a Broadway stage, and just have it to yourself with no one else there, and I don't know which one it was called, but it was the one they used for Cats way back when, so, it was really fancy, like, the seats were really done up nice, and the little, I don't know what they're called, like little alcove balcony box seats kind of on the side had lots of little filigree and little black, all lights were kind of off, so it was hard to see, but it looked very fancy. So, yeah, that was a neat little experience for me. And yeah, no urge to, have a little solo all to myself while I was up there, but I think it's just kind of cool just to be there, Maybe that's kind of it, maybe it's a sort of thing where, I don't know, maybe it interests you more naturally if somewhere deep down, or maybe not so deep down, you kind of yearn to actually be up there on the stage yourself. I don't know, just sort of like, maybe you have more interest in movies if you'd like to be a movie maker. Or, I don't know, you're more interested in music if you're a musician, or more interested in books if you want to write someday, kind of thing. But, I don't know, that's really all I have to say about musicals, I guess. What else? Oh, how could I forget? I finally saw the Korra finale, the other night. Gosh, it took forever. And I found a way to turn the high definition off of the video so it didn't take weeks. Instead, it just took hours. And boy, do I have feels about that. I feel almost kind of embarrassed now because I was so excited for it. It's so strange that it just they fumbled it. It isn't even, I don't even know if you can use such a polite word for it even, because it wasn't just the last 5 minutes problem, which really kind of stunned me, and I was really disappointed in that. But it wasn't just a rushed thing. It was like watching the last 2 episodes, you really start to realize just how far off they got, or if they felt that they were on track, it was not a very good one, and they should have planned the first 3 or 5 episodes a lot better if that was the ending that they were planning on all along, and not just, I don't know, because they were afraid they weren't going to get greenlit for a second season or something. But I didn't really plan to go in depth about that, but it was very disappointing, especially after Legend of Aang it was really good and really well planned out, and then this one it wasn't really, and it was, I don't know, it was just so disappointing, because we know they can do better, and they didn't, and I've heard people saying this because that it was shorter. And I read somewhere that they didn't plan on having the second season be, I forget the word, sort of like following the same storyline like the Legend of Aang was, just all 3 seasons were the same summer, kind of the same storyline, and obviously they can't, so if that was their plan all along, then well done, because you can't follow the old plot now. They pretty much wrapped that up as tight as they could. But just like the more I think about it, the less disappointed I am, and the more angry, I guess. It was shaping up to be so good, and then they just, I don't know, stood back and put it up against a wall and shot it in the back of the head or something. It's like, you could have done so much better. And I mean, it says something not very good about a series when you look at it and you can say quite confidently that the main character was not the main character, or shouldn't have been. Like, the 2 main antagonists should have been the main characters. They're the only ones that really had any kind of growth or arc of any note, just because, the way they wrapped up the ending there. And at the end of it, like, it's a really horrible thing when you get to the end of a series, and you're kind of with it all the way, and then you get to the end, and you just completely lose interest. I've never